Success isn't for the chosen few, it's for those who choose to show up, take action, and never back down. This is the Empower Entrepreneur, hosted by Rohit Soni, airing across 185 countries, 26 plus TV networks, and 100 plus podcast stations. You've heard the strategies, you've seen the mindset. Now it's time to execute. I'll see you next week, every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. Go, build, dominate. Until next time, stay empowered. So, hello and welcome back to the Empower Entrepreneur TV show. This is your host, Rohit Soni, and today we'll talk about selling, one of my favorite topics, right? And how to sell, how to convert, but on top of that, how to sell the right way with the right people in the right environment, right? And in saying that, I want to introduce you to my guest. And before I introduce you to him, I want to tell you a bit more about what he does, right? Today, we are joined by Michael Glickert, a sales leader and trainer with more than 20 years of experience helping teams understand what actually works in sales. After successfully selling his own company in 2025, Michael has stepped into a friend's fence business just to help out, and within 60 days became the number one salesperson on the team. That experience reinforced something he had believed in for years. Sales works best when it's built on honesty, curiosity, and genuinely helping people. That philosophy has become the very foundation of your sales training system. Happy to help. You like the word, I love the word, right? Where he teaches companies how to hire the right salespeople, avoid expensive hiring mistakes, and build sales teams that drive real growth. Today, we are talking to him about one of the most overlooked profit killers in business, hiring the wrong salesperson. So, in saying that, I want to introduce you to my guest on the stage. Hi, Michael. How are you doing, my friend?
Exceptional. How are you doing?
Absolutely great. And I'm excited for the show because selling is very close to me anyways, right? So
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
So in saying that, let's talk about some of the topics, right, we have for you. So let's just get right into it, right? A little bit
Let's
more
do it.
about you, how you started your journey. Yeah, what are we
Yeah,
doing right now?
absolutely. So I'll tell you a story a little bit about me. When I was 5 years old, I knew where every McDonald's was in town. And we would drive around with my mom, and I would ask her, can we go get a Happy Meal? And eventually she got tired of taking me for Happy Meals. And so she started telling me, I don't have any money. And so I realized that if instead of asking for a Happy Meal, I started asking my mom, do you have any money? Before asking her for the Happy Meal. And if she said yes, my follow-up question was, can we go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal? Somehow I just knew if you knew what the objection was going to be, get ahead of it before, and then you can get what you want. So part of my career has been, how do we get everything on the table before we talk about what it is that we want, which is to move forward in whatever you're selling, and get it on the table so that it's no longer there. It's in the open. It's on there. We can get rid of it. So somehow I just knew how to do that. So over the years, I've owned several companies, medical clinics, weight loss clinics. And like you said, Rohit, I sold my business in early 2025. Within a few months, I got bored. I needed something to do. A friend of mine had a fence company in town. And I said, I don't know anything about fence, but I can sell anything. So she put me to work. And within 2 months, I was the number one sales rep in the office. And it was a really cool experience because it taught me that I really can sell anything. And so from there, it gave me the confidence to step out and start a sales training company, which is what I love to do. And it's exciting. It's fun seeing the growth. And more importantly, it's objective. We know where you're at and where you can get to, and we can show you that we can get you there.
Absolutely. I love that. And why do so many businesses struggle with to hire strong salespeople consistently? I know that's a gam, right?
Yeah,
Everyone.
it's all right. Yeah. So salespeople are good at talking to people, which means they're good at interviewing, which means they can convince you quite easily that they're the best choice to hire a salesperson. But there's 21 core competencies of a sales professional. And if they don't hit all the competencies that make sense for your business, you're going to hire a great person, but not a great salesperson. And that was the experience that I had when in many of my businesses, I would meet really wonderful, well-qualified people, but they couldn't sell. And unfortunately, it takes time to realize that you've made a bad hire. And it's really difficult to fire a good person that can't sell for most of us. So when it comes to hiring the wrong person, it's vitally important that you not only hire a great person, but you hire a great salesperson. Because if you don't hire the right salesperson, you're going to cost yourself revenue, and there is not only direct financial consequences, but indirect as well.
One of the things that I've known in selling myself is that you got to get not just the right people, but they need to have goals in mind. And human beings are human beings. Without a goal, you're not going to work anything, right?
Yeah.
So one of the key things that I've learned is not just making sure that you're selling. Obviously, salespeople, like you said, are very good at talky, right? But they're also very good at getting relationship going, connecting with people on some level, right? And when you connect with people, it helps, right? And one of the key things, I'm not so sure you'll get it right, what I'm saying. Not everyone will. When you describe people's problem better than they can, they love you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Selling is. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. So when it comes to understanding the customer's desires, that comes from one of the core values that I teach, which is curiosity. So after you've spent some time connecting with the individual, you've developed some rapport, finding out what it is they want, why they want it, when they want it, how do they want it delivered, and what can you do to support them on that buying journey is extremely important. And the way you get there is just being curious and asking questions. And they're not really like natural questions that you would just have casually in conversation. So you got to frame it in a way that doesn't sound like you're selling to them, but you're genuinely curious. What are you looking for in a provider? What do you want to see in this quote or this bid or this proposal? What's going to make us your preferred vendor for this project? And if you can get that out of the individual, now you can use creativity to sell them on what it is that they want. And I love the phrase, sell the individual what they want while educating them on what they can have. So if they want a great warranty, tell them why your warranty is the best. Don't tell them why your product's the best. They may not care about the product. They might already be selling the product.
They care about what's in it for them, right?
Yeah, what are they going to get? How's it going to change their lives? How is their life not going to change if they don't buy from you? So the curiosity is, tell me everything about your way of buying. Some people are very analytical. Some people are very just tell me what it's going to happen and how we're going to do it and put it in place right away. Well, some people like to see statistics and facts and figures, and some people just want to know, is this going to solve my problem? If so, let's go forward. So you got to uncover how they buy, why they're going to buy it, why are they looking into it, and then present them a proposal or bid or a quote based on what they want.
Exactly. And I love that, right? Because that's what selling is about, right? It's describing people's problem better than they can, but at the same time, they don't even realize that it's selling because it's actually fixing a gap. It's actually helping. I always tell, right? I never sell anyone anything. I always fix a gap. If I can fix a gap, people say yes, right? It's absolutely. That's all folks, right? For some people, I know it's difficult because they're not experienced like you, or when I do it, I've been doing it for 7 years, so that helps me, the experience. So I kind of get an idea, what someone wants when they say something, they need something. I get an idea what their objection would look like if we have a very good hold of your product. So those things obviously help, right? In saying that, we got to run Michael into a quick break. But when we come back, we will discuss with everyone assessments, evaluation, and predicting success with Michael Glickert and his coaching. Okay, so I'll see everyone right over this quick break.
Are you ready to share your story with the world? This is MJ Glickert with Happy to Help Sales Training, and in my company, we help your company improve sales by both sales training and helping you hire incredibly talented and exceptional sales professionals. I've worked with small and medium-sized businesses, and my mission is to help you achieve your mission, because every business needs more sales. That's why I'm excited to be on the Empowered Entrepreneur to share insights, strategies, and inspiration with viewers worldwide. Follow my journey at happytohelpsales.training or find me on any socials. Let's create something extraordinary together. I'll see you on the show.
So hello everyone, welcome back to the Empowered Entrepreneur Show. This is your host Rohit Soni, and I'll get my guest Michael again on the show. And like you, I'm loving the questions and the answers that come. So, Michael, you talk about OMG sales assessments, right, to evaluate sales talent. What makes that approach different from traditional hiring?
Yeah. So most traditional hiring, and I'll give you an example, is you place an ad for your position, sales position, and then you get a list of names and resumes, and then you set up interviews and you ask the questions of, what's your experience? What's your sales approach? How do you do sales? And then you step forward and you say, well, I like these two people or these three people. Let's bring them in and meet with us in online or in person. And then you hire one or two that you like the best. There's a lot of emotion in that. There's really no objective data on those individuals other than maybe they've got a good career. They've been in sales for a long time, so they're qualified, but there's no objective data. So in my consulting and the coaching that I do, we use an assessment that tests the 21 core competencies of a sales professional, and we insert that at the beginning of the evaluation process. So after an individual, a company, or a hiring manager identifies several people that they think would be qualified based on their resume or their experience, you put them through this assessment. It's about 45 minutes, maybe an hour long. It tests them on how they buy, because how you buy is how you sell. So now we understand that they have the competencies, and how much of those competencies do they have. So I can then take and recommend those 5, 6, 7 individuals that you are considering and say, here's your number one, based on the competencies of sales. That's the best person for this job. These 3 people are not qualified. They're going to interview well, but they're not going to sell your product or service very well. Now we've got objective data, and then you can put your emotional spin on it by talking to them, getting to know them, getting to understand them a little bit better in your interview process. But it takes you from going from 7 or 8 interviews now to just 1 or 2 interviews, because objectively, these 1 or 2 individuals are the best people for this job. And then you can decide amongst those 2 based on your hiring criteria and how they fit within your interview or your culture or your core values. And then you can hire the best person. So not only are you getting someone that is a great person, you're getting someone that's a great salesperson too.
Great. And that's a big asset for any organization, because that salesperson is going to run with it, right? And it is going to make you buttloads of money, but at the same time, making it a huge success for both the team and the organization and the owner, right? So if you were to hire, Michael, someone, what traits would you want to see in them to see, okay, they'll actually succeed in sales or not? What would you look into them? Right.
Yeah. So I am a big fan of core values, and every company has their own core values, and typically it's based on the founder or the team has come together, the board has come together and defined the core values. So when I interview for my businesses, I would just go down the list of my core values and say, tell me what this word means to you. So in my consulting business, my core values start with accountability, curiosity, connection, creativity, resilience, adaptability, and growth. So I would ask them questions about what that means to you. And I encourage hirers and hiring managers and businesses to go through your list of core values or your mission statement and ask them to describe what that means to them and give examples of what that looks like. What does growth look like to you in your personal life? What does accountability mean to you? What does responsibility mean to you? What is integrity? Whatever your core values are, interview based on the core values that you have in your business. From there, you know that you're going to get somebody that has that level of understanding that you're a core value driven company, and core value driven companies always go further than just a company out there to make money. Have a mission, have a purpose, have a reason for doing the business that you do, have a passion for it. And when you have all those things in place and you've got the objective data for my consulting of your hires, then you can look at the emotional side. Then you can get those people that really understand the business, and the will to sell and the desire, and they're going to fit culturally with you, which means when you hire that right salesperson, they are sprinting from the start, and they are generating revenue and closing deals quickly. And the hiring manager now looks like a hero to the whole company because they hired this fantastic salesperson that fits in well and drives revenue and sales.
Well, that's what it's all about, right? Driving revenue. In saying that, we got to run into another quick break, Michael. But when we come back, we'll discuss with you how your coaching helps people and what are you currently doing and what your programs look like, okay, for our audience. So let's be right back, everyone. We'll see you in a minute.
Are you ready to share your story with the world? This is MJ Glickert with Happy to Help Sales Training, and in my company, we help your company improve sales by both sales training and helping you hire incredibly talented and exceptional sales professionals. I've worked with small and medium-sized businesses, and my mission is to help you achieve your mission, because every business needs more sales. That's why I'm excited to be on the Empowered Entrepreneur to share insights, strategies, and inspiration with viewers worldwide. Follow my journey at happytohelpsales.training or find me on any socials. Let's create something extraordinary together. I'll see you on the show.
So, hello everyone, welcome back to the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show. This is your host, Rohit Soni, and I'll be back with my guest, Michael. Like I said, I'm loving the conversation, but now it's a lot less about us and a lot more about Michael. So, Michael, you can go ahead. You have the stage with yourself. Please share with us your current services. What are you doing to help people out on LinkedIn and all your other platforms? So, I'll give you the stage.
Thank you, Rohit. I do appreciate it. So when a company identifies the need to either evaluate the sales team or hire for their sales team or look at a manager for a sales team, those are three kind of different platforms and pathways for a company. Obviously, every company is different. We all sell something. We all have unique selling propositions. We all have a way of doing things. So first thing is I'm going to spend some time with the owner or the hiring manager, the sales manager that's in place to evaluate what they have going on. We have an assessment. It's a sales evaluation and improvement analysis, so we can see where the gaps are in the current team. We can see what opportunities they're missing, and we can objectify that. We can put numbers on it as far as dollars and cents, and we can show you specifically you're missing out on X number of sales. Let's say somebody wants to hire somebody. You want to hire a salesperson, and you're not really sure how to hire that salesperson or where to start with that salesperson. We've all hired salespeople before, but you want to hire a really exceptional and incredibly good salesperson. Same thing with that. We can evaluate individuals that are applying for positions in your company, and we can make it really easy and simple for you to reduce your number of interviews to only interviewing qualified people. Now, you hire the individual. I tell you if they're qualified or not based on 21 core competencies of sales. Many of those competencies are things that are very obvious, like do they have the capacity to follow up? Do they have an ability to communicate? Do they take feedback and constructive criticism well? Do they do a good job of finding out who is the actual buyer, getting to the deal maker, who's going to make the final decision? So those are questions that we can ask based on how the individuals buy, and it's going to tell you how they sell. And based on your individual, what you're selling, maybe you sell home services, maybe you sell software sales. It doesn't matter what you sell. The evaluation tool can be customized for your specific way of selling. So there's one call closes with, say, you sell windows. Individual calls you and says, I want to buy some windows. You send a salesperson out. A salesperson sells them on using your company for sales. Maybe you sell widgets for airplanes. That sales cycle might be a year or 2 years long, and it's going to take a lot of effort and energy and time to build up that sale, but that sale might be $20-30 million. Selling windows might be a $10,000 job. So it's a very different style of selling based on your individual company. We can help prepare the individual and the sales team to sell whatever it is that you're selling effectively and make sure that you get the right people in the right role so that over time they sell more, they drive more revenue, and you don't have to wait 6 to 8 months to realize that you might have made a bad hire. Because it takes a while to evaluate sales reps, and it takes a while to figure out if you've hired the right person for the job. So like I said earlier, there's a direct and indirect cost to hiring the wrong person, and we don't want you to make that mistake. We want you hiring good, quality salespeople that hit the ground running, can drive revenue quickly, and that's what we do at Happy to Help Sales Training.
Yeah, and I love it, brother, because one of the key things I also witnessed is understanding people. When we understand people, we get better at sales, and I think that's what your brand stands for, right? Understanding and evaluating and getting better, right? So, and saying that, before we go into the last break and the last segment, I want to ask you one last question is, what changed when you stepped into the friend's company and became the top salesperson in just 60 days? What patterns you saw in other people and what helped you achieve those results faster than most?
Yeah, I think it's just a genuine curiosity to understand the individual and what they're looking for. I also think that I have a genuine desire to help people, and I want to make sure that they make a good choice with whatever they're purchasing. In that case, it was a fence, and I knew that our company offered a really good product at a very fair price, and I wanted to make sure that they did not make a mistake and hire the wrong company. And so I genuinely want to help people make good choices. I want to help businesses make good hires. I want businesses to grow. And if you have a desire to help people with your product or service, then I want to help you hire people that can push it, can help drive it, and can help make the business even more successful.
Awesome. I love it, brother. So yeah, in saying that, we have to run into our last break, but when we come back, we have an exciting rapid fire for Michael. Okay, so we'll see everyone after this quick break.
Are you ready to share your story with the world? This is MJ Glickert with Happy to Help Sales Training, and in my company, we help your company improve sales by both sales training and helping you hire incredibly talented and exceptional sales professionals. I've worked with small and medium-sized businesses, and my mission is to help you achieve your mission, because every business needs more sales. That's why I'm excited to be on the Empowered Entrepreneur to share insights, strategies, and inspiration with viewers worldwide. Follow my journey at happytohelpsales.training or find me on any socials. Let's create something extraordinary together. I'll see you on the show.
So hello everyone, welcome back to the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show. This is your host Rohit Soni again, and with that, I'll get my guest again on the screen, Michael. Loving the show, brother, but this is the last segment, so I have a quick rapid fire for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, one red flag when hiring a salesperson.
Someone that interviews extremely well, but doesn't have the backup.
One quality every top salesperson has.
Communication skills.
One mistake companies make during interviews.
They get too emotional about hiring somebody. It needs to be objective.
One habit that improves sales performance fast.
Constant coaching. Most companies don't do coaching. They don't do evaluations. They don't listen to their sales reps' calls. They just kind of expect the sales rep to do it on their own. So you need to do frequent, regular coaching.
And what does being an empowered entrepreneur mean to you?
Well, I think entrepreneurship is the single greatest gift an individual can do, because as an entrepreneur, you are a trailblazer. You are at the forefront of your industry. You are trying to create change for good in the universe, in the world, and you have to have that drive and that passion and that excitement for what you do.
That keeps us going, that keeps us into the next, all right? And
Absolutely.
listen, Michael, I would love to have you on our show again in the next season. We have 2-3 more episodes pending, so we can do just a sales masterclass for our clients, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Do the show, because I'm loving this. I'm much more intrigued because this is also my area. So I'd love to talk, get more ideas, maybe learn a bit from you as well at the same time. And obviously, it helps our audience at the end of the day. Any last thing before we go off here? You want to share?
I love sales. And if you own a business and sales are not going the way you want them to, if you're not hitting the marks you want you to, there are resources out there. If it's not me, I can help you find someone that's going to help you. If you have a business or a service, like a mission, like you are driven by a passion, let me help you sell it. Let me help you grow it. And if you truly feel called to do your service or business, you need someone and a team to help sell it, and I can help you with that.
Awesome, brother. I love it. So yeah, that's a wrap from the Empowered Entrepreneur TV show, season 3, last episode. So I'll see you next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So see everyone.
Success isn't for the chosen few. It's for those who choose to show up, take action, and never back down. This is the Empowered Entrepreneur, hosted by Rohit Soni, airing across 185 countries, 26 plus TV networks, and 100 plus podcast stations. You've heard the strategies, you've seen the mindset. Now it's time to execute. I'll see you next week, every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. Go, build, dominate. Until next time, stay empowered.